Does. Hey, this is going to be Tuesday, September 23rd, and also Wednesday, September 24th. We're going to get into a whole bunch of stuff about irony. We're also going to be going over the quiz to give you guys the answers for that one, so you can turn that one in to help you out. You're going to need your notebook because we're putting in an entry on the bellwork side, which is going to be called the iron knee, which should be on the right-hand side. And then hopefully you have checked your key points and all of that, so we can help you out from there. Yeah. Let's see, last week's quiz, if you were gone, you can now, we're going to show you all the answers to help you out, but then the access code is going to be Rataki, and then you can use that as your access code. It's French.
That's not French.
Everything's French, you say it is. And then yesterday's one, I had to have kids who were gone yesterday, we'll have to take it too. And then we did the IXL, which was now officially late, which for some reason kids choose not to turn in as spin B points, which always confuses me. I know. It was my fault for not saying it out loud in front of you yesterday, telling you you've not turned it in. Yeah, I know. Totally my fault. I'm an embarrassment as a teacher. Speaking of things I have not done to help you guys out, the Priscilla quiz we have coming up this week, the story you guys got yesterday. Hopefully you get a chance to watch my video with my little manga anime disturbing art, and then I've also given you the questions ahead of time to help you on that one. Don't forget, if you throw anything in the air, it's going to end up getting taken away from you, and you never get your phone returned. What? I was just saying random things out loud. You know how old people are. So, quiz-wise, I want to go through quiz to help you guys out with that real quick, and I'm going to sort of cover the answers, give you guys a quick discussion. If you got lower than a 21 on it, meaning you got less than a 70%, you can resubmit it. You have a third attempt. If you did not turn it in at all last week and currently have a 0 on it, I would highly recommend turning it in and getting up to a 70%. So what you can do is watch video with all of the answers on it when you go home or during flex, and then you can just submit it. The problem is you have to email me. If you don't email me, I don't know you did it because it does not tell me that you did it. So make sure that you email me as we go through to help you out. Other than that, if you are wanting to be on your iPad as we're going over it, you can stand if you want to. I'm letting you. I'm not trying to yell at you. Just because I've had kids who, instead of wanting to go back, they want to like retake it in class. You can. You just have to stand the entire class period. If you're fine with that, so am I. If not, then it's the going back using the video thing. Okay, so, one, let's back up. As we go through, if you know the answer, good. But what I want you guys to do, if possible, is to help the kids who don't know the answer, how you knew the answer. Because I want to help the kids in the future do well on it. And so I'm trying to find ways that maybe you guys speak Gen Alpha in a way that I don't. By far? Vote for Will, you'll go far. I know, it's such a great phrase.
Do you have our iPad out to see like, what questions you got wrong?
Yeah, if you want to stand, that's fine.
Just for this one?
Yeah, just for this part, I'm going to go over it, and then when we're done, you can sit back down, that's fine with me. You just have to stand, you just can't block people, so I have to like move back over there so you're not blocking people. That's the chair, I want you back there. You pushed the wrong thing. Hey, you're back, there we go. So as we go through the first one, I'm not putting every question up there because some questions you guys all did really well on, and I didn't want to waste your time. So I basically just aimed for the questions that you seem to struggle on, like across all of my classes, where like it seemed like less than 70% of the kids knew it. Those are the questions I tried to cover. Let's see, what is the external conflict that was in this? So from the fun they had, who's the main character in the story? Margie. Who does she argue with the entire story? So how would you write it correctly? So that was your one thing. The number, do you guys know what the number one wrong answer was? Webster? That was the number one wrong answer. And so, yes, she hates the computer teacher, but that was not the main conflict throughout the entire story. That was just at the very end and one part at the beginning. The whole story, she's getting into a big argument with Tommy about school and existing and stuff like that. 2, what was the best theme? So on the, what's the definition of theme?
What we learned.
So on here, one of these is something, now it never comes out and tells you in the story. This was you reading the story and then figuring out what we were supposed to learn from it. on here, the thing you were supposed to learn from it being?
You should enjoy life.
Because at the very end of it, she talked, we're good to go, it's submitted now. Thank you much, good job, Ashley. And so as we go through here, you should enjoy the life that you have. That's why at the very end, she's like, oh, kids in the old days must have loved school where you got to have a teacher that would make you stand up and make fun of you, as opposed to the computer world where all you have to do is sit in front of an iPad the entire day and learn.
I hate iPad school.
I feel the same. That's what the whole story was about, was kids hating iPad school. And the fact that even though you guys hate teachers, it's better than sitting in front of an iPad and doing all your learning there.
Yeah.
Do you know what the number one wrong answer was for this one? I can tell you, it was the plot. And I had kids who kept choosing the plot. Nope. That's not even one of them.
It's about two kids finding an old book.
There you go. That was the one, that number one wrong answer. It's about two kids finding an old book. That's not a thing you learn. That's just what happened in the story.
No, you did learn that. You learned that that's what happened.
It's not the same. I do appreciate you trying to speak Gen Alpha at me. 3. Which of these is not an important part of the plot? One of these is not the plot because it's a character description. Brady?
The first one?
Yeah. All I did was go through there, like, these are all things that happen. Margie's mom tells her to go to school. Margie goes into her house. Margie discovers. Tommy finds. Tommy is a young boy who can be a bit of a jerk. That's just a character. So I was seeing if you could tell the difference between a character description and a plot. So that's what I was going for on that one. 4 and 5 you did fine on. We had no issues with those. So I'll jump to number 6. When? Do you see how I put a circle at the top of the question on this one? Where it says, when is the best sitting? At the very beginning of the story, it tells you when it's taking place. What year is it?
2157.
When is 2157?
Future.
Yeah, I took either 2157 or future. Either one was fine. I had kids who tried to write down May because it says May 17th, 2157. May is part of the setting. I don't think May is a very important part of the setting. And I think the fact that it was taking place in the future with robots is more important than the fact that it was taking place in May with flowers. That was probably one of our biggest. Oh, the other biggest wrong answer was people would put house. Do you know why that's wrong?
There could be.
That's the where. That's the where of the setting, not
Yeah.
the when.
Because that would be the where. And so that
Because
would
it's
be
in
the issue.
big
would come in on
letters
that one.
up there and they're highlighted when.
You go to school? Why was that wrong?
Because that's also where.
Because that's also a where and not a when. I know you guys wake up and go,
Words are
it's
hard.
school o'clock! And you get all excited. But that's not quite the same thing.
I get excited. This
Alright.
is my school talk. This is what I do.
Ooh, from the fun they had, point of view for the story. Who's our main character? Margie. Is there ever a scene she's not in?
No.
By the way, if you read the first paragraph, what is this whole story supposed to be in?
The future.
Oh, I don't have it in front of me, I don't think. Let's see.
Have someone say it again?
The beginning of the story. I have it. I do. Margie even wrote about it that night in her diary. On the page headed May 17th. So what is this whole story supposed to be?
Oh, it's her diary.
Her diary! Is there any point she won't be in her own diary?
No.
So that was the whole idea, was that she's in every scene because it's a diary.
Third person limited.
It says she's in every scene. Third person. Ooh.
Limited with that.
How do you know it's not first person?
Because you say I.
Never said I.
There you go. When it goes through there, it says, same with mine, said Margie. She was 11.
I don't even have to do it. I know. I'm just so.
That's your third person limited on that one.
You already did this.
I don't remember this.
8.
Everything you guys do, I don't remember any of it.
Which of these internal conflicts actually, first of all, what word do you have to have in an internal conflict?
Or.
They all have or now, so you could not look for that one to make it easy.
Have the word not.
Can't have the word not. None of them have the word not in it. So again, in that theory, all of them should work. The trick was only one of these was a decision that actually happens in the story. What one?
No, it's not.
Margie, read book or ignore it.
No, the other one.
Let's go
No,
through.
no, that one.
The imposter.
Yeah.
No.
Definitely.
No. It's yeah. It's go down. Yep.
So Does Tommy ever talk about throwing the book away?
Oh, yes.
No, never even once. He talks about the fact that he's keeping the book and he likes to read it. The teacher is a robot. Does it make decisions? No. Mom, do they even use pencils? No. So that's not even part of it. Margie, read book or ignore it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the part where she's sitting there getting into a fight with Tommy. So that's where you have the whole read book or ignore it. So, chat. 9. Which line from the story would best work as a reason to prove that the kids may not want to have robots as their teachers?
Number 1.
This was your thinky question again. So as you went through there, you had to sort of figure out what is it that applies. Kids today must be actually enjoying having human teachers that sit there and yap at them. And that would be your first one up there. Kids must have loved it in the old days. By the way, what are the old days they're referring to?
Now.
And so when they say kids loved it, why would you guys love it in the old days?
Because we actually had a teacher.
Who needs to make fun of you on a daily basis?
It's fun.
You don't have to raise your hand, Jess. I'll still make fun of you. It's okay. You don't have to volunteer. That was awful sweet of you, though.
It's fun.
I know. Make fun of me. I got all of you. It's okay. I know when you go into Siri and you're like, Siri, make fun of me. And all Siri goes is, you have big feet. And you're like, Siri, that's a good bird. It doesn't work nearly the same as when I make fun of you.
What's your good bird?
Good burn.
Oh, they said bird.
Good bird. Siri, that's a good bird.
That's a chick.
From the story of the voices, where do we, throughout the whole story, we find, well, where is he at the very end? Correct, he's at the hospital. But the trick is he in the hospital the whole story? No.
Because he's also in his dream.
Because remember at the very, when they first voices say they're all dead, who are they referring to?
All his family.
Is his family at the hospital?
No.
Oh, where are they?
Oh, they're on the road.
Yes! So this is where you had to go back and remember, the story doesn't take place in the hospital until the end. So when it says the whole thing was in a hospital room, the whole thing was not in a hospital room. So if it's not that one, because it's total cap, what's your next one going to be? So as you go through, is it in his bedroom the whole time?
No.
Was he in the school building for almost every scene? So then you go to, so I agree. This is the one a lot of people chose, but that's why I put the whole thing, and it turns out it was not the whole thing in a hospital room. That was the whole going back, paying attention thing. 11, you did well on, so I can skip it. 12, in the story, Sam wakes up from a dream in which his family was on a horrible car wreck and it felt very real. Yeah, I spent like the whole week teaching you foreshadowing. So I'm going to give you a question where you have to figure out foreshadowing. I did have kids who came up and they said it wasn't fair that I put irony on there because I haven't taught you irony yet. So if I haven't taught you irony, so that was my thought of it, was giving you a free answer. But I did have kids who chose irony because they didn't know what it was, so they just assumed that had to be the correct answer. I feel the same way, chat. 13. For our 7 elements dance that we've learned, what is it you have to say for theme? Nice. By the way, did you see where I put it up there in your answer for you?
Yeah.
I tried to help you if you read the question. It even says learn right there. And I took learn, learns, learned. Any of those should be good to go. 14. What part of the story is the voices attack Sam in his math class and cause his chest to explode, which finally kills him?
Climax.
Why climax?
Because it's a big story.
So if it's not climax, what would have been the next possible answer? Rising action. Is this the part where things get interesting? To help you out, what is the only part of the mountain I didn't put on there? So that was my way of trying to help you, because I knew the tough answer would be between rising action and climax. So I took out rising action to try to make it easier on you. Because then I figured you should know it's not, where does exposition happen?
The very beginning.
Where does resolution happen?
At the end.
So I figured it had to be between climax and following action. And I would hope this would qualify as sort of the fun stuff, or the oh my god. So that's what I was looking for. My god. And the last one, we find out the story is taking place in the year 2150. What part of the story do we find out where it's taking place?
The very beginning.
What do we call the very beginning stuff? So all you had to do was write exposition, and that was it, and that was the entire thing. If you got a grade lower than that 70%, which was a 21, all you have to do is go back in, use the phrase Rataki, and you can retake it, send me an email, and you can get up to a 21. I'm hoping you get a perfect score on it, and you get a 30 out of 30. It just means I can't give you a 30. I can give you a 21 to try to help you out on that one. So that's up to you. Oh, also to help you out, to remind you, your grade in my class is almost exclusively from your quizzes. That's where almost your entire grade comes from in my class. Your homework is only 25% of your grade. It basically just exists to bump your grade up by like 3 or 4 percentage points from whatever you're getting on the quizzes. And the reason I tell you this is I had a kid stay after class yesterday and ask me why she had a C in my class if all of her work has been turned in on time. And I said, because all of your quizzes are D's, and if you can't get a good grade for me if you don't redo your quizzes. That's why I keep telling you, you can redo your quiz. Yeah, I'm trying to help you, but I can't force you to. Hi, Jez. Yes, Jez, that's why you raised your hand.
Why is that terrifying me? Why is looking at right to me?
You're asking me why something terrifies you. It's because it reminds you of that one time you got attacked by a chicken when you were a child.
Oh yes, I did got attacked by a chicken.
That's why I'm here to help. Okay.
Put it back down.
Yeah, as long as you're not using your iPad anymore, that's fine with me.
I got you.
Go you. There's Quizzy Biz to help you out. Now, learny bits for today. Home children, you don't get to find out why we're all excited in a moment. You'll just have to wait. We'll come back to you. And
Here's the thing. You could have gone to the lunchroom.
home children, it went great. We had so many kids volunteer. Oh, the kids that are, oh, hang on. Let me pause again real quick. Sorry. And now we're back. That I can't tell you. That takes the fun out of things. So now your notebook is open, he says, looking behind him where I have a thing on the screen. And you have gone to your table of contents where you have put entry on the Bellwork side.
Yep.
Should be number 3 on the Bellwork side. And you're, oh, because I had originally planned on doing it yesterday, and then I had to move it, and apparently I forgot to change it up there. So embarrassing. So if you want to change it to the 23rd, right there, I'm perfectly fine with that. Because I thought we were going to do it yesterday, and then they surprised me with that IXL thing, so I had to ship everything around. So my iron knee, and then what page number does it go on? Should be on page 6, not 7, just 6. Then you're going to go to page 6. No, still just page 6.
Page 7 on the other side.
I hope the kids at home are so annoyed by you guys right now.
I'm not watching this video.
The kids at home are just sitting there laughing. They're like, oh, that's 6, 7. It gets me every time. They keep dropping their pencil. They're like, oh, no. So go to page the one after 5.
6, 7.
And then you're going to put,
No, only page 6. Page 7 is for your homework.
yeah,
6 and 7.
she's going to crash out. And then you're gone through, put date and title up there. And we're going to get into ironing.
Wait, what did you say, Will? That doesn't mean I can't crash out. I crash out all the time.
So, on that, what do you need? Hang on. Well, no, don't you stop freaking out. I see what you're doing. Hang on.
Pause!
L, what do you need on that other screen? The date or the title? Did you want to look at the top up there? Or have me make fun of you now?
It's irony.
Okay.
Irony.
Did you just oh my god me? I'm the oh my god right back at you. Oh. See, look. I have the correct date up there. I just apparently missed it on another sheet. So on this one, I'm going to have you write down the definition of ironing. Where it says, oh, actually no. On your pink sheet, if you want to write down the definition of ironing there instead,
And then copy it onto here.
you know what? You can even just leave it on the pink sheet as long as it's in one or the other. You're going to want to have the definition somewhere for the quiz coming up this week. So the one up there, that is the shortest one I have. Unfortunately, with irony, that's as short as your definition gets. When words express something that is the opposite to their literal meaning, which I know is confusing, and irony will be confusing, which is why I'm going to show you a whole bunch of examples and beat you silly with irony today.
I think the photos help. The photos make it make sense.
That's what I thought so too. I was really excited about that. or a difference between the expected result and the actual result. And then we're going to draw this little chart in there. Draw the little charty thing.
Wait.
I am waiting. That's what I'm doing right now. Until Ellie yells at me again.
No, go back.
So again, when words express something that is the opposite to their literal meaning, you can say one thing, but it's implying or meaning something else. And once you've done that, we're doing this part here in blue, which means you should not be just staring at me. Because we're going to fill this in to help you do a learning thing. So for the chart, here's what you're doing.
Wait.
This part here, this is what goes in notebook. The one that's in front of you. See? Now he's crashing out.
1, 2.
There are a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 acrossies, 3 up and downies. And we're going to come up with examples of irony. Hi, Elle.
You have a pencil I can borrow?
There's a whole stack of them right there.
Give her some batteries.
I know. Elle's just giving me so many reasons to make fun of her today. Elle, that's the nicest gift you could give me. Mocking a child. So, for each one, we're going to go through there and figure out how to make something ironic. So you're going to have what a fireman does, what a police officer does, and if you want to, you can just write fireman, police officer, dentist, and gymnast, and that's fine with me. And then you're going to have what is it you would expect them to do in life, and then what is the opposite of that. And I'm going to walk you through this, and we're going to have you guys freak out in a moment.
No.
It'll
No
be
freaking
okay.
out.
I know, that's too late.
That's not going to happen.
Some of them
It's
freak
too
out no matter
early
what
in the week
happens.
to freak out.
Not really. Mondays are my freaked out days.
No, it's Tuesday, so we can't freak out.
Yeah, see, it's no longer Monday.
You just have to be calm. You just have to be locked in and focused.
Alright.
So again, definition, when words of home children, you can probably just go ahead and either fast forward or pause until you see me filling in these, and then you can go meep, meep, meep until you see that come filled in, and then you can stop, and that's when the talking begins again. All right, buy you guys a moment here. Once you have filled this part in, you're filling this in yourself. What is it that a fireman does? What does a police officer do? What does a dentist do? What does a gymnast do? And then this part you can wait. If you have an idea, you can. If you feel like you're strong with it, but I'm going to try to help you. But this one, we're going to take your guesses here in a second.
Wait, are the home children like
The children at home. Yes.
So like the dead kids
Well, like-
crew.
like crew?
Yes.
Maybe,
Yes.
or,
Yes. All those kids. I know. All right.
No.
Okay, and we're back. So, for irony, I'm going to walk you through each one of these to help you out. The idea for irony is it's when you have a thing you are expecting to happen, but the opposite of that thing happens. Makes no sense yet. Give me a moment. So, what is it that a fireman does?
Takes out fire.
There you go. I put stops fires, puts out fires, something like that. So instead of him stopping fires, it'll be the opposite.
Starts fire.
Not bad. I put catches on fire, but it's the same idea that you have. It's for the opposite of what you're expecting him to do. What is it a police officer does?
Arrest people.
There you go. I put arrest bad guys.
Let them go.
What would be the opposite of that?
Let them go.
I put if he breaks the law himself. Because that's the last person you would expect to break the law would be a police officer since he's supposed to stop people.
They like to speed on the highway.
And what does a dentist do?
Takes care of teeth.
There you go. What would be the opposite of that?
Eats a lot of candy.
I put has bad teeth.
Candy corn.
Okay, he has candy corn teeth.
I do not like candy corn.
No, it is.
I know.
And
Candy corn's fun.
what does a gymnast do?
They balance.
Wow.
Works for me. I put flips and balance. And then what would be the opposite of that?
They fall over.
Trips over feet, falls over, falls down. So it gets you in the idea of what the thing you expect, and then the opposite of that being here in a moment. And then we'll have you keep this out here for a second as we go through it. I've got a whole bunch of examples and pictures to try to help you. Don't worry about the bottom part. I'm going to skip that for now. I think it would just end up confusing
We
you.
got 20 minutes.
So we're just going to focus here. All right. Don't even with that. So, real quick with irony, showing you two little examples. Verbal irony is when you have like it's outside and it's raining and she says, nice weather we're having. Yeah, I might hit the beach later. This is the idea where, is it nice weather outside?
No.
So the verbal irony is where you say one thing and you mean the opposite of it. I do it a lot in class, and you should be familiar with it whenever you make bad kid choices and I go, ooh, that was a good choice. Do I mean that was a good choice? What's that an example of?
That kid.
Sarcasm.
That kid.
Sarcasm is a form of verbal irony, where you say one thing but mean the opposite. It's why they say teachers shouldn't use sarcasm, because sarcasm only works if you're intelligent. If you're not, sarcasm is ineffective. Because if all of a sudden Raymond turns around and smacks Will, and I go, Raymond, that was a good choice. And Raymond's like, oh, okay, JJ smacks him too. And I'm like, what are you? He's like, good choice. Hey, Jake, no! He's like, all of a sudden, me being sarcastic doesn't work. You have to pick up on that tone of voice when I go, hey, when I'm talking about bad choices and you start talking, what a good choice that kid made. See? Now that's understanding sarcasm and he curls into a ball. Even though I'm saying good things and you get scared and you're like, no, that's how sarcasm goes. And she goes, man, I'm soaked through to my t-shirt. And he goes, yeah, way to wear a raincoat, genius. He's not implying that she's an actual genius. He's sort of going through and saying the fact that she's made poor kid choice. Okay, I have some examples for you. I'm going to go through and I have stories and then I have pictures to try to help you. And I'm hoping as we go through, it'll start making more sense. The bad news is you don't have to write anything down. This is just looking at me and listening, which for some of you might be kind of
You
scary.
didn't have to write this, right?
No. I mean, if you wanted to draw a picture of them looking really sad, you could. But
I'm good.
yeah, it's a good choice.
I found
So, let's begin here. Have you guys ever seen the little made in China stickers? Looks something like that. So, here's where my irony comes in on this one. I found a made in China sticker, but it was on the 4th of July at the 4th of July parade here in Fishers. And I had taken my daughters to it. And we were watching the parade, and the people in the parade were going along handing out things to the kids. There was one particular thing that they were handing out on this 4th of July parade that had a made in China sticker on it that I thought was incredibly ironic. Any idea what it would be? 4th of July, what would they be handing out? That was the last thing you would expect to say.
Chinese New Year's dolls.
Jez?
Flag.
Oh, it is correct. It was an American. Have you already gone, by the way? You need to go back
American flag made in
to the
China?
bathroom.
Yeah.
You need to go back now. There you go. Go for it. And it was all of these little American flags, and each one had a made in China sticker wrapped around the little flagpole that you would hold on to. And I thought that was kind of ironic that you would think, where would you expect American flags to be made?
US.
Exactly. And the fact that they were being made in China, I'm like, well, that's the opposite of what I would expect.
That's how I know I'm lazy.
So to connect with this one, I had a kid bring this up last year. Where do you think they make those stickers?
And China.
Turns out they were made in Mexico.
What?
Is that the opposite of what you would expect? A little ironic that they make the stickers in one place, ship them to another place, and then put, again, so much irony.
That actually?
And so there's my little American flag that had
What the
China
heck?
on it.
All
Alright?
right. China.
Let's see how well you're doing this. If we find out that the guy that runs the car company Chevrolet, what car would you expect him to drive?
A Toyota.
A Tesla. A Lamborghini.
What car would you expect him to drive? So it would be ironic if he drove. There you go. So that's where it's the opposite of what you would expect. You would think if you own the company, you would drive that car. If not, that's kind of ironic. Let's try another one. If we find out that the employees of the Microsoft company are using, so what kind of device would you expect them to use?
Microsoft, like
So it would be ironic if they were using,
Apple.
there you go. So it's the opposite of what you would expect them. That's what makes it ironic. Ooh, real story for you. So this comes from actual real life in my classroom. I've had a student named Joey, and I've had a student named Delight. Both of them were examples of irony. So the first one that I had was Delight, and she was actually in my first period. And Delight,
Here?
here, not now in this class today, but yes, it was here. I've only ever taught in this one room for 27 years. That's the only room I've ever
No, you
been in.
talked down there once.
I did for 2 months, and then I came
It was
back here.
horrible.
Yeah, it was just while they were redoing my room. But Delight was in my first period, and she was the school bully. And so Delight would get in ISR all the time for beating up other kids. She was a very grumpy kid. And so I remember by the time we got to irony, the kids already knew that you did not get on Delight's bad side. And so I remember we got to this part, and I was talking about irony. Have you ever seen like a TV show or movie where they have like someone named Tiny, but there's like a really big person?
Yeah.
And that's the same, that's ironic, because like, here's my friend Tiny, and then you look down, and it's like some big guy walking in. I used to use that as my example, that Tiny being big, and I used that one, and I was like, sometimes names can be an example of irony. And I looked around, and my whole class was like side-eyeing. They're like, I'm like, what are you guys looking at Delight? And I went, and I went, Delight, are you an example of irony? And she went, meh. And I'm like, so sometimes the name Delight means to be pleasant and friendly. Delight. She goes, meh. And I'm like, the whole class like, and I'm like, that would be your example of irony. A few years later, I had another girl by the name of Joy, which means happiness. Joy was my girl that would wear all black clothing with the black nails. She was a little on the emo-y side in the fact that she never smiled. She was the kid that would just sit in class the whole time just going, and so again, we got to this time though, kids weren't scared of Joy. So when I was telling the story about Delight, I had a kid, Joy sat back over here where Cecilia is, and I had a kid on that side of the room who went, I know irony! And I went, yes. And he just stood up and he goes, Joy! And just pointed right at her. And I was like, not wrong. I'm like, joy means happy and smiling. And we all looked at Joy, and she's like, and I'm like, and Joy is not smiling. That would be your example. I thought that was entertaining. That was a good moment of learning for the whole class.
What about Will?
Like 15 years ago.
What about Will?
What about Will?
Willing to do something.
That would be good. If all of a sudden we have the fact that everyone wants to do something and Will refuses, that would be our example of irony on that one. Nicely done. Ooh. So we just had a day off of school for Labor Day. Do you know what the word labor means? Work. How do we celebrate National Work Day? So that's your irony. We go, this is a national day to honor work. How should we honor work? Let's sit around and do nothing. Nailed it. There's your irony. We sit around and do nothing.
But then,
Ooh, you might not know this, but some kid in my class like to talk a lot, and those are my talky kids. But there is a unit we have coming up in January, and for some reason, my kids who yap the most hate this unit, which I find ironic.
why? It's my birthday.
Do you know what unit it would be ironic if my kids who lose points for talking would hate?
Speeches.
Is correct.
I love speeches.
We have a speech unit coming up, and usually it's my kids who yap the most who are the ones who seem to hate speeches. They're like, everyone's gonna stare at me. I'm like, they all stare at you when you talk nonstop. It's a different kind of staring. And so it's that same thing. Plus,
I love speeches.
oh my good God, I'm trying the best I can. I know. Will, you stop talking. And so it turns out sometimes my best speeches are from the quietest kids in class who are just like, I never had anything to say before. And then all of a sudden they get vocal. Other kids have no trouble being vocal.
Welcome.
Ooh, all right. I unfortunately don't have a picture of this, but I have a story. The little drive carefully sticker that looks like that. So, one day, I was driving along and I was going to the grocery store and I pulled up behind a car and I'm sitting in the car right in front of me. The whole back end of the car was smashed. It looked like the Incredible Hulk had just grabbed it and gone like, and then just pushed it. And I was like, how is that thing driving? But then on the bumper was this sticker that was like smashed into the bumper. And I was like, oh, that's ironic. the fact that it says drive carefully and it has this smashed thing. So I got out my phone because I'm like, this would be great for the irony thing. So I just have my phone balanced on my steering wheel and I'm starting to zoom in so I can get the perfect picture for you guys. And all of a sudden, like the car like starts moving away and I'm like, oh no you don't. So I start gunning it after the car, holding my phone on top of my steering wheel while trying to zoom in at the same time. And then all of a sudden, I saw the car in my screen get bigger and bigger, and I'm like, perk! I look up, and they had stopped. And I went, ah! And I hit my brakes, and my phone went, phew, and flew out and hit my windshield. And my heart went really fast, and I realized it would have been doubly ironic if I was trying to take a picture of a car that had a big smashed in back end, and then I were to hit it trying to teach irony.
Did you?
I did not hit the car. I did also not wet myself, but I thought that was going to be part of the problem. And I also did not have a heart attack, which I also thought was going to be an issue.
How close were you to
So instead, I just have a story. I don't remember at the time because I was busy trying to not wet myself. That was my main memory. I looked down, I'm like, whew, still dry. What's up, Zayden?
You still don't have a picture though?
No.
You
Because
tried that hard to get a picture.
I know, because then they drove away, and again, I was still checking myself, and I was like, oh, I'm dry, and I decided I was just going to use that as a story
This is
instead.
ironic, just like Zayden, this is how he sells.
Not quite, but you're on the right track.
Because he did to 100, but then he got
Yeah,
0 points.
I know. It's not quite irony yet, but we're getting closer to it. I know, just harassing Zayden.
Still got it wrong.
Do you guys know what a phobia is? Like,
Yes.
so,
Phobia of the
if you are the guy who runs an airline, what would be ironic for a phobia?
Scared of heights.
There you go. So you would think if you run an airline, you're always in the air, you would not be scared of heights. Ooh, she is now over at Riverside, but we had a teacher whose name was Miss Music. Any idea what she taught? No. There you go. She was actually a science teacher. And not only was she married into the name, she was actually Mrs. Music. Not only did she not teach music, she couldn't sing. We used to have a teacher talent show where we would put on a show for the kids, and I kept trying to recruit her to join, and she was like, I can't sing. And I'm like, your name is Music. She's like, I married Music. And I'm like, oh, okay. Speaking of which, what is the name of our choir teacher? What is it you would expect her to teach? There you go. Does she? No. So that would be ironic again, the fact that we have a cooking class. We have a teacher named Mrs. Pancake, and she does not teach the cooking class. I know. I'm like, oh, the irony of that. Ooh, so here's your next sticker, your next story for you. This sticker, this little thing where it says the I heart my kids. So I was leaving the Walmart up in Noblesville, and as I was coming out, I was pulling up sort of like next to a car, and they had this little thing that was in the back window that says I heart my kids, and I'm like, I also heart my kids. And so I looked over to see the kids because being a teacher, I'm fond of children. And I look over there, and it was weird because it looked like a little fish tank because two kids, was a boy and a girl, they looked like they were in elementary, and they were in the back seat, and the back window was rolled down about this much, and the two kids had their mouths like up to the window going, and I'm like, what? And so I'm like, that is the weirdest. So I keep driving a little bit further, and I get up, and I see the mom and dad in the front seat just smoking cigarettes. And there was just like smoke like rolling into the back. And the kids were like just trying to breathe air through the little crack that was up there. And I'm like, that's ironic, because it says, I heart my kids while they're in the process of killing their kids. And I'm like, oh. So again, I think of you guys, so I get out my phone. And I'm like, I'll get a picture this time, because this was after the previous issue. And so I get out my phone, and I'm sitting next to the car, and I'm trying to zoom in. I even back up a little bit so I can get this into the picture with the kids with their little faces up there. And I'm zooming in, and I noticed something behind one of the kids, and it turns out to be the dad who was driving, who had turned and was staring at me. And apparently it's creepy if you take a picture of someone else's kids, because he looked really upset, and I went, ah! And I dropped my phone, and I just peeled out and took off and hoped they did not follow me, because he looked really scary. So I heart my kids, I just don't heart killing my kids. But again, ironic. Jazz, you'll have to wait. Oh, so I play basketball on Sundays, and I open up the gym here, and I have friends who would come in to play. And one time, one of my friends brought his friend as like a tag-along guy. and this guy had a giant NBA tattoo on his shoulder when we were getting ready to play. What is my suspicion?
He's a really good basketball player.
But if I'm using it for the irony,
He sucks.
dude was building a house with how many bricks he threw up. It was amazing. He would just sit there and he would be the guy that would run down the court and be like, woo! And just like turn around and like walk away. It wouldn't even hit the backboard. And I'm like, you have a tattoo? Again, I didn't get his actual picture because I thought that'd be mean. Be like, can I get a picture of your arm because you're so bad? I didn't think that would go over as well as you would think. But I figured it would work for a story. Okay. Now, I told you my stories for irony. Now we're going to look at pictures of irony and see if you can figure out what it is. Here's where we get to truly test it. So, found a Mountain Dew machine. What do you think they sell?
Coca-Cola.
So what?
Pepsi.
What is the expected thing they sell? So if it's going to be ironic, what are we going to find?
Why does not sell Mountain Dew?
It's almost like it's an example of.
Irony.
I thought the same thing. All right, let's try another one.
You think they sell Coca-Cola, but they actually don't. They sell Pepsi
Oh,
products.
you see
because
where this is going
Pepsi.
now?
There's Pepsi again, bro. What?
I know. It even has the Pepsi right there and the Pep.
That's Dr. Pepper, man. I need some.
It was the fact that they even went so far as to put up the ice cold Coca-Cola, and I'm like, there's no Coca-Cola.
Sold here.
So this one, it was a patch I could buy, and I was going
Made in
around,
China.
and it has the little American flag on it. But when you turn it over,
Made in China.
you guys saw this coming. There you go.
Obvious,
Made in
bro.
China.
Everything's made in China. China, made in China.
Where do you expect it?
Made in China.
Guess what?
Mexico.
Not China.
Mexico.
Yeah, I know. You were expecting
It
China.
doesn't say Mexican.
Hi, Jess.
What?
Can I tell the story of irony?
Yes, but not right now. Ooh. So here's a guy who was sitting there. This was not a me picture on this one. I actually found this one. Somebody else sent it to me. But he's sitting there eating a whole bunch. Do you guys know what fasting is?
Yes.
No way. You're legit.
So what is a book about fasting about?
Not eating.
What's he doing?
Eating.
So again, there's a little bit of irony on that one. So this one I have nothing covered. I'm gonna see if you can figure out what's ironic in this picture. Webster?
It says today you're too big, but it has a warning that says it should not be for kids under 3.
Yeah, this was for my nephew when he was young. But it said, yeah, the whole idea says, today you're 2. And I pointed, I'm like, it says not for anyone under 3. And so I thought that was rather ironic that you'd give a kid a present and be like, you can play with this in a year. Okay, this was at DC trip where we were behind another group as we were walking along. And this kid, had a shirt that says, be different, which means don't be like anyone else.
They're all wearing the same clothes.
So then the kid next to him also had a shirt that said, be different.
Oh no.
What's going to happen when I uncover this?
Different.
What makes that ironic?
That says be different. And they're all boys.
And the fact that, yeah, they were all wearing the same shirt that said, be different. And I'm like, So this is an old tiny picture from my childhood.
Oh, it doesn't have tires on the bottom.
Well, why would that be ironic?
Because it has tires on the back.
Not bad. It does have a tire though. So what's your next?
It's a bicycle tire. Or like a small one. Bicycle.
Oh, it's a flash.
There you go. So the fact that he was carrying all the tires.
I can carry all this. Build on Joe. That's what it is.
So this was at the DMV where you go to get like your license renewed. So
He's drinking
do you know what that tattoo is?
Monster.
So he had a drink sitting on the ground right here next
It's
to him.
not Monster.
What do you mean it's not Monster? Is that what you're expecting?
Yes. Here's Monster.
Uh-huh.
A red
Bull.
I'm like, how do you get a Monster tattoo and then sit there and drink a red?
Couldn't you get like infinite? Did you get like
I would think that's what.
Did you like get wings on our arm and legs at least?
Dance like no one is watching.
No.
You guys are getting good at this. Yeah. The security camera right
Whoever
above
that
it.
is, I'm suing that place.
I thought it was
I'm
entertaining.
suing all these
Look at
guys.
the camera.
So this one, it's a bike lane. So if it's a bike lane, what should we expect from
A
bike lane?
That's car. What the?
Yo, the cyclist space. But what are you doing? You're in their way.
Right? The fact that the give cyclist space is in the one spot that is in this,
Exactly.
it's almost like it's an example of.
We need to move that. We need that big scary guy to move that.
Okay, so this one says the Sliding Door Company, which is a company that makes.
It doesn't have a slide door. It has a full door. It has a full door.
You guys are trying to get the hang of this one. Is correct.
Don't
Right? I mean,
That's stupid.
usually irony ends up being a little bit funny because it's the complete opposite of what you're just like. Come on, you had one job. Why did you say that?
Because it said you were smiling here at the How do you take a picture of that?
Please ask for assistance for top shelf items.
And then
So-
you don't need assistance.
There is a type of book that was up there where it says ask for assistance. The type of book was called.
Don't ask for assistance.
Self-help.
So why would that be ironic? You're supposed to be able to do it on your own.
Exactly what they're telling
There you go on that one too. You have sadness. Alright.
Oh,
You now have irony underneath of you. I wish you the best of luck.